Welcome to Brazilian national football team forever. Here you'll find the past and present of Brazil's national team, a team that has fascinated the world and carries an unmatched legacy in soccer. Today, we're revisiting some of the great players who made their mark with their clubs but couldn't quite bring the same magic when they wore the iconic green and yellow jersey. Get ready for a nostalgic and surprising journey through these names who, though celebrated by their club fans, fell short of expectations in the Brazilian national team. So go ahead and subscribe, drop a like, and join us in discovering a lesser-known side of some of Brazil's most talented players. Geraldo Cleofas Dias Alves, better known as Palhinha, made a name for himself in Brazilian football with outstanding performances for clubs like Cruzeiro, São Paulo, and Palmeiras. His talent and agility on the field made him a fan favorite, especially during the 1990s when he reached the peak of his career. With São Paulo, he was one of the stars under coach Tele Santana, helping the team secure major titles such as the Copa Libertadores and the Club World Cup in 1992 and 1993. Despite his remarkable club success, where he was known for his goal-scoring prowess, Palhinha never managed to replicate the same level of performance with the Brazilian national team. In his limited appearances, he played only 16 matches and scored 5 goals. These opportunities, which came during a period of team renewal, were not enough for him to showcase his full potential. Palhinha never had the chance to participate in major tournaments with the national team, and although he was an exceptional player for his clubs, his appearances for Brazil were brief and lacked the same impact he consistently brought to both domestic and international club competitions. His lack of continuity and adaptation to the national team style, coupled with stiff competition from other talents of his era, left him sidelined from Brazil's significant moments. Palhinha is remembered as a fantastic player whose journey with the national team never matched the same spotlight. Nonetheless, his name is celebrated for his historic achievements with his clubs, leaving behind a legacy of victories and memorable performances in Brazilian football. Mario Jardel Almeida Ribeiro, famously known as Jardel, was a goal-scoring machine throughout his club career, especially in Europe with teams like FC Porto and Galatasaray. Known for his incredible aerial prowess and clinical finishing, Jardel amassed a reputation as one of the most prolific strikers of his time. At Porto, he was particularly sensational, scoring over 150 goals and securing multiple top scorer awards in the Portuguese league. His knack for finding the net also earned him the prestigious European Golden Boot twice, in 1999 and 2002. Despite his dominance at the club level, Jardel struggled to replicate this success with the Brazilian national team. He was capped only 10 times and never managed to score. While Brazil historically relied on strikers who contributed with playmaking as well as finishing, Jardel's style was more direct, relying on service from wingers and midfielders. This approach didn't align well with the Brazilian system of the time, which left him without many chances to prove himself. Unfortunately, Jardel was often overlooked when it came to major tournaments, as Brazil already had other established stars like Romario and Ronaldo. His few appearances didn't provide enough continuity for him to adapt and thrive with the national team, and his club form didn't translate into international success. Today, Jardel is remembered as one of the greats at the club level, an iconic figure who made history in European football. Though his time with Brazil was brief and without the same impact, his remarkable goal-scoring feats remain a celebrated part of his legacy in the football world. Evair Aparecido Paulino, simply known as Evair, was a brilliant center-forward admired for his exceptional finishing, tactical intelligence, and cool-headedness in front of the goal. Nicknamed the Silent Killer, Evair was instrumental in the success of Palmeiras in the 1990s, where he scored pivotal goals and helped the club secure major titles. Known for his precise technique and penalty-taking skills, he consistently delivered remarkable performances, making him one of the most reliable forwards in Brazilian club football. Despite his stellar form at club level, Evair struggled to replicate that success on the international stage. With the Brazilian national team, he only managed to make 9 appearances, scoring 2 goals in total. His playing style, which relied heavily on intelligent positioning and a slower, calculated approach to finishing, often didn't align with the fast-paced, flair-driven style preferred by the national squad. Consequently, Evair wasn't given many opportunities to demonstrate his unique talents with Brazil. Overshadowed by other forwards of his generation, such as Romario and Bebeto, Evair found it challenging to establish himself within the fiercely competitive environment of the Brazilian national team. His brief tenure with Brazil left many wondering how he might have contributed had he been given more chances or a different tactical setup. In the end, Evair's understated brilliance will always be remembered by fans of Brazilian club football, even if his international career didn't showcase the full extent of his capabilities. Djalma Feitosa Dias, known simply as Djalminha, was one of the most creative and technically gifted attacking midfielders of his era. Nicknamed the Magician, Djalminha enchanted fans with his flair, dribbling, and remarkable vision on the field. He became a key player for Deportivo La Coruña in Spain, where he was instrumental in their La Liga title in 2000, and had previously shown with Flamengo and Palmeiras, bringing titles and unforgettable moments to both clubs. However, despite his club success, Djalminha's international career with the Brazilian national team never truly took off. Over the course of 14 appearances for Brazil, he scored only 5 goals. While he displayed flashes of brilliance, he often found himself competing with established names like Rivaldo and Ronaldinho, making it difficult to secure a permanent spot in the squad. Additionally, Djalminha's temperament sometimes held him back, as he was known for his strong personality and occasional clashes with coaches. Despite his undeniable talent, his time with the national team ended prematurely, leaving many fans wondering what could have been if he had been given a more central role or consistent opportunities. Today, Djalminha is remembered as a magician who left an indelible mark on the clubs he represented, but couldn't quite bring the same impact to Brazil's national stage. Alexandre de Souza, widely known as Alex, was a midfield maestro renowned for his precision, vision, and exceptional technical ability. Known simply as Alex or the Maestro, he enjoyed a stellar career at clubs like Palmeiras, Cruzeiro, and especially Fenerbahce in Turkey, where he became a legend. His brilliance on the field, marked by deft playmaking, powerful long-range shots, and free-kick prowess, made him a fan favorite and earned him numerous individual awards and championships. However, despite his undeniable success at club level, Alex's journey with the Brazilian national team was far less remarkable. Over his career with the national team, he made 48 appearances but only scored 12 goals, with his talents often overshadowed by high-profile players like Rivaldo, Ronaldinho, and Kaká. As a result, he struggled to secure a consistent role in the squad and rarely featured in major international tournaments. Alex's national team career is one of unfulfilled potential, as he was never able to replicate his club form on the international stage, nor was he given the space to become Brazil's primary playmaker. Many fans and analysts regard his international career as one of the greatest what-ifs in Brazilian football history. Today, Alex is celebrated as one of the finest midfielders of his generation, a player who dazzled in every league he graced, even if his magic was seldom seen with the national team. Marcos Antonio de Lima, better known as Marcelinho Carioca, was one of the most skillful and charismatic players of his generation. The midfielder, nicknamed O Pé de Anjo, the Angel's Foot, for his precision in free kicks, stood out primarily at Corinthians, where he is remembered as one of the club's greatest idols. He also played for teams such as Flamengo, Vasco da Gama, and in European football, winning important titles and making a name for himself with his creative playmaking and exceptional free-kick abilities. At Corinthians, Marcelinho Carioca became a legend, winning the Copa do Brasil, the Campeonato Paulista, and the Copa Libertadores. He was the protagonist of unforgettable moments for the Corinthians fans. His free-kick goals, precise assists, and vision of the game turned him into a beloved figure among fans and one of the greatest idols in Brazilian football in the 1990s. However, his performance with the Brazilian national team wasn't as impactful as his club career. Marcelinho made 19 appearances for Brazil but struggled to establish himself as a regular starter, scoring only 4 goals. His technical abilities weren't enough to secure a prominent spot on the team, especially in competitions like the World Cup, where he had limited opportunities to showcase his talent. The lack of tactical fit and the intense competition from other renowned midfielders prevented Marcelinho from shining in the national team in the same way he did at Corinthians. Still, Marcelinho Carioca is remembered as one of the greatest players of his generation, a true genius in club football who captivated fans with his unique style and unmistakable skills. Rai Souza Vieira de Oliveira, known as Rai, is one of the greatest names in Brazilian football, considered one of the big stars of the generation that shone in the 1980s and 1990s. As a midfielder, Rai was known for his refined technical skills, game vision, and most notably, his precision in free kicks and penalty shots. Rai made his mark at clubs such as São Paulo, where he won important titles, including the Copa Libertadores and the World Club Cup, as well as shining in Europe, playing for Paris Saint-Germain, PSG. At São Paulo, Rai was a key player in the team's victory in the 1992 Copa Libertadores and the 1992 Intercontinental Cup, playing crucial roles with great performances and decisive goals. His importance to the club was so immense that he is regarded as an icon in São Paulo FC's history. With the Brazilian national team, Rai made 49 appearances and scored 11 goals, participating in the 1990 and 1994 World Cups. However, his journey with the national team was not as distinguished as his club career. In the 1990 World Cup, Brazil was eliminated early, and despite his skill, Rai couldn't prevent the early exit. In 1994, under the leadership of Dunga, Rai was part of the championship winning team, but his contributions in the matches were modest, and he did not play during the final against Italy. His relationship with the national team is remembered for the longing for a more expressive style of football, something that didn't come to fruition in the 2 World Cups he played in. Despite this, Rai continues to be remembered as one of the greatest players in Brazilian football history, especially for his technical ability and the affection with which São Paulo fans regard him. Müller, full name Carlos Alberto Müller, is a former Brazilian footballer widely recognized for his exceptional career as a forward. Known as Müller throughout his playing days, he was a player who defined the attacking style of his era, playing with sharp intelligence, excellent positioning, and an innate ability to score goals. He is often remembered for his time with the Brazilian national team, where he made a significant impact, particularly in the 1994 World Cup. Müller made 55 appearances for Brazil and scored 12 goals, representing the national team in the 1986, 1990, and 1994 World Cups. His most notable achievement came in the 1994 World Cup, where he played a crucial role in helping Brazil win its 4th World Cup title. Although he didn't score in the final, his contributions throughout the tournament were key to Brazil's success. His agility, versatility, and sharp footballing mind made him one of the most effective forwards during his time. At the club level, Müller enjoyed a stellar career, playing for some of Brazil's most prestigious teams, including São Paulo, Flamengo, and Palmeiras. He was also a vital figure in European football, playing for clubs like Monaco and Bayern Munich. With São Paulo, Müller won several titles, including the Copa Libertadores and the Copa Sudamericana, further cementing his status as one of Brazil's footballing greats. Despite his success at the club level and with the national team, Müller's international journey was sometimes overshadowed by the presence of other star players, but his contributions to Brazil's 1994 World Cup victory will forever be remembered. Known for his calm demeanor and consistent performances, Müller remains a beloved figure in Brazilian football history. Edmundo, full name Edmundo Alves de Souza Neto, is considered one of Brazil's most talented and controversial footballers. Known as the Animal for his fiery temperament and aggressive playing style, Edmundo was a skillful forward who dazzled audiences with his technical abilities, powerful shots, and incredible flair on the field. His career spanned across top Brazilian clubs and European leagues, making him one of the most famous players of his generation. For Brazil, Edmundo had 39 appearances, scoring 12 goals. Despite his incredible talent, his time with the national team was marked by inconsistency. He participated in the 1995 Copa America, where Brazil claimed victory, and in the 1998 World Cup, but his international career never fully matched his club's success. Edmundo's fiery temperament often caused tension in the national team, and his relationship with coaches and teammates was sometimes strained. His performances were sometimes overshadowed by his off-field behavior, which led to his exclusion from major tournaments, including the 1998 World Cup final. At the club level, Edmundo shone brightly. He made his mark at clubs like Vasco da Gama, Palmeiras, and Flamengo. At Vasco da Gama, he won several titles, including the Campeonato Carioca and the Copa Libertadores, becoming a fan favorite for his goals and passion. His time at Palmeiras also saw him achieve success, including winning the 1996 Copa do Brasil. Edmundo's career was also marked by stints in Italy with Fiorentina and a brief period with the famous Italian club Roma, where he played in Serie A. Despite the controversies surrounding him, Edmundo is remembered as a player with immense talent and passion for the game. His skill on the ball and ability to change the course of a match make him a lasting figure in Brazilian football. Renato Gaúcho, full name Renato Portaluppi, is one of Brazil's most charismatic and skilled players, known for his versatility, flair, and ability to score decisive goals. A legend at clubs like Grêmio, Flamengo, and Fluminense, Renato became a symbol of Brazilian football during his club career. His technical skills, precise passes, and leadership on the field earned him admiration from fans and teammates alike. Renato was an essential figure in Grêmio's victories, especially in the Copa Libertadores and the Copa do Brasil, where he showcased his class and creativity. However, his time with the Brazilian national team does not reflect the same level of brilliance. Despite playing in some important tournaments, including the 1989 Copa America and the 1990 World Cup, Renato Gaúcho struggled to replicate his club form for Brazil. He had 40 appearances for the national team and scored 7 goals, but his performances were often inconsistent. Renato was a player who thrived in an attacking system with freedom and creativity, but Brazil's national team at the time often didn't offer the tactical environment he needed to flourish. This disconnect between his club and national performances earned him the reputation of a player who couldn't deliver the same magic on the international stage. Renato Gaúcho's career with Brazil is often remembered for moments of promise that never fully materialized, and his exclusion from key tournaments, including the 1994 World Cup squad, is a reminder of how his talents couldn't be translated to the international level. This discrepancy between his club and national team performances places him at the top of our list of players who failed to reproduce their club magic in the Brazilian jersey. Despite this, Renato remains a beloved figure in Brazilian football, remembered as one of the best club players of his generation. And do you remember any other player who isn't on this list? Let us know in the comments. And with that, we've reached the end of this video. If you're a fan of the art of football and the magic of the Brazilian national team, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and activate the notification bell so you don't miss our next videos. See you next time.